Hello, and welcome back, each of you who've been listening to these Dhamma talks. I'm grateful for your commitment to the practice and trust that your commitment will be met with success. And welcome to all new listeners. We're always happy to find new listeners and hope you too will be blessed by the time you take to listen to the Dhamma. I have a suggestion. Those of you who have been listening the last while, I haven't produced a new Dhamma talk now for more than a week. Perhaps you could go back to some of the early Dhamma talks and listen to them when there are gaps between my new uploads. There are quite a few talks, some of them as long as an hour, that you may find helpful. Okay, today's talk I'm entitling Practice. This is the practice of Dhamma that we're talking about, and it has definitions, it has ways that we must practice if we're going to practice in harmony with the teachings of the Buddha. When I first began practicing, or what I thought was practicing many years ago, I thought practice meant the time that you spend sitting on the cushion, cross-legged, trying to quiet the mind, and that when you get up off the cushion, that is the end of your practice. And that you may not go back to the cushion for days, weeks, months, or even years. And during that time, I thought I was not practicing. In fact, I wasn't practicing correctly until more recently in my life in Thailand. But there I learned the practice of sitting meditation is just one form the practice takes. The most critical form is the mindfulness practice that we have once we stand up or finish our sitting meditation. So a practice is a continuous awareness of the flow of our own consciousness and feelings. Usually, whatever we're aware of through the five senses or the six sense doors, including thoughts, has an emotional component. We need to be aware of that emotional component as well as the actual event we may be experiencing through the five sense doors. We must practice to develop the heart, and the one who develops the heart is the one who practices Buddhism. Now that means our practice is not based in memorizing the sutras, memorizing things we've heard on YouTube channels or from our teacher, learning a foreign language, whether it be Pali or some other language. It's the opening of our heart. So that practice means that we are deepening and evolving in our ability to experience metta and to share metta, a loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. That's what development of the heart looks like. It's not the development of intellectual understanding or the way we learn things when we're in school. Part of our practice should include not eating more than is needed, not sleeping more than is really needed, and speaking a lot less than we may have in the past. So our daily practice is that every encounter we have through the five sense doors, people we meet, situations at work or in school or within the family, everything that we do and all the people we engage with should be included as part of our practice. The way we relate to them, speak to them, feel about them, act towards them is part of our practice. Now, if any of you have practiced for long periods of time, you know that the body becomes very painful, and this fear of sitting with that pain hobbles the mind. It limits our ability to be successful, and there has to come a time when we press beyond our fears, our anxieties about any form whatsoever of discomfort or something that we define as suffering. In other words, there is no alternative to total commitment. Now, we don't totally commit at the snap of a finger, but we must be on the path of continually letting go of our fears, our doubts, our anxieties, our worries, apprehensions, our cravings, our likes and dislikes, and in an effort to be liberated from them. There is no alternative to total commitment. And that may include hardships. Hardships often precede our own happiness or our own success. It's that willingness to press through, to carry on, that strong determination coupled with patient perseverance. Those are the characteristics that we must develop if, in fact, we wish to be fully liberated. So, right practice is, in fact, a steady practice. In the definition of mindfulness, it is constant conscious awareness with clear comprehension. So it's not just that period of time we spend in sitting meditation, it's that time that we spend when we're not in sitting meditation, maintaining awareness of what the mind is doing. So we're doing something and we know that we know we're doing it, and we're aware of the emotional components, in other words, the opinions, the reactions that we have to the present moment. So we cannot practice Dhamma by following our moods. The Dhamma cannot be reached by following our desires. These are obstacles to our success. We identify with them. We say, I'm not in the mood, or I don't like this, I don't like them, I don't like her, I want this and I don't want that. Those emotions are the suffering, self-created dukkha that we manufacture every moment. And if we're not practicing mindfulness, we believe those emotions, those feelings, those opinions are me. These are mine. This is what is happening to me. This is a delusion that we must overcome. So the practice is difficult because of these desires. We can't rely on our moods and our desires. As I've said, everything becomes difficult because of our cravings, our ambitions, and our desire to achieve. The extreme discomfort caused by constantly opposing these kilesas, these pollutants of mind, that's what makes the practice so difficult. But if we're going to be successful, we must endure. Thank you. I'm not sure I ended on a very elevated note, But that is the practice, constant conscious awareness with clear comprehension, patient perseverance with strong determination to open the heart moment by moment to loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. Thank you for reaching the end of this short Dhamma talk. I hope there are some words there that resonate for you. There's some seeds there that may be planted for your future practice and your successes. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it very much.